Good afternoon, folks. Jordan here at the Nutty Gnome Homestead. Today is April 29th, 2023. We're out here in our big garden getting ready to plant some bush beans. These are a green bean variety. I believe these are contender bush beans. This is a variety we've planted for several years. They are very prolific. They produce a lot. They only get about 20 to 24 inches tall, but they will produce a lot of 4 to 6 inch long straight green beans. These are very good for canning. They're very good for blanching and putting in the freezer for later. Or as we like to do, we'll fry them up with some of our new potatoes. So there are two different classes of green beans. You'll have your pole beans, which will get between 4 and 6 foot tall. Some of them will get taller than that. And they need something to trellis or climb on. Now this could be a teepee, a couple of poles that you cut from the woods, or we prefer a couple of cattle panels bent over, and the green beans will actually grow up the cattle panel, which makes it real easy to pick the beans because they all hang right straight down. But today, these bush beans that we're going to be planting, and these are seeds that we saved from ours from last year. These are a contender variety. They're an heirloom. They're very, very good. If you guys haven't tried them out, you really ought to. So we're going to be planting a triple row. I've already planted about 40 or 50 feet, and I'm going to plant another 20-25 feet here in just a few minutes. This goes really quick, folks. They're a 50-day bean. From the time they germinate, you're picking green beans in about 45 to 50 days. They're very prolific. They're very quick. We usually get about 3 good pickings off of our green beans, and then we will plant another crop. We will succession plant these every month or so, and we'll have green beans from June all the way up until the first frost. Now, if you want to save your seeds, your last couple of pickings, don't pick all the beans. Let a couple of them go to seed. They'll get real leathery. Let them dry on the beanstalk, and then pick them off. If you want to save the seeds, let them sit a couple more weeks in a cool, dry, airy place, and then you can go ahead and shell your beans. This is how we save our own seeds here on the Nutty Gnome Homestead. So I'm going to bring you guys in close, and we're going to get some of these green beans planted real quick. So as you guys can see here, we have some of our prepared compost that we top dressed our rows with. Over here we have some of our beets. I was going to plant the rest of this out, but I think I'm going to have 1,000 or more beets come out of this first crop, and that's about all I want for the year. So I might plant some more here in the fall. But anyway, we got about 25 feet of compost here in this row, and we're just going to go through here and get this planted. So as you can see, I just took my finger and I poked some holes. These holes are about 4 inches apart, and in between rows are about 6 inches. So I'm going to get, I don't know, 9 in approximately 1 square foot, something like that. That's pretty close. And we're just going to take a bean, and I'm going to drop one in each one of these holes. Now the spacing on this does not have to be perfect. These are very compact plants, and this is very rich compost that we're putting them in. Now I want to get these buried about 1.5 inches, 1 inch to 1.5 inches. These beans are about 3/4 of an inch long, 1/2 inch long. So you want to do about twice the length of the bean at least. And up here I got a couple more holes already poked. Just poke them in with your finger, close it in around it. You're not trying to get these seeded down real deep. Like I said, about 1 inch, 1.5 inches deep. I'm going to put you guys down for just a second. I'm going to get the rest of these planted. So I'm going to show you guys this one more time. So as you guys can see, we got the beans in our hole. They're about 1 inch deep or so. We're just going to pinch them together. I'm not trying to get these in there, anchor them to the core of the earth or anything. And you guys can see how quickly this goes, especially if you have a nice loose soil. So that's really all there is to planting these green bean, folks. Since we practice the crop rotation, I make sure to put them in a different row every year, and we'll follow them up with whether it's corn or any of our leafy greens, anything that likes the nitrogen, because they are nitrogen fixing plants. Whenever you plant your pole beans, be sure to plant them next to structure. We prefer a cattle panel where you can bend them over. Like I said, the pole beans will actually climb up the cattle panel and all the beans will hang down, which makes it very easy to go inside and just pick them out. These bush beans, they get, like I said, about 20 to 24 inches tall. They produce a whole lot of beans. We can expect close to 1 to 3 pounds of beans per foot that we're planting here. So they do like the high intense planting, so you can get quite a bit of beans out of a very small space. If you are limited on space, we have successfully grown green beans, both pole beans and bush varieties, in mineral tubs and buckets. You just want to make sure not to overcrowd them too much because the resources are going to be limited. But that's really how easy it is, folks. Get out there and get your green beans planted. In about 1.5 months, you can start enjoying some fresh green beans. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to shoot me a message down below or contact us over on Nutty Gnome Homestead at Facebook. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, y'all stay safe.